Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first quarterfinal of Bro League Season 3. And we will have the brackets on the screen for you in a moment. So, the first quarterfinal we will be airing today is Orbit versus Rogue Nation, and Madlas JTF right after that. And Orbit versus Rogue Nation, the community will be up on the screen right now, and it's heavily in the favor of Team Orbit. Um, Team Orbit being the clear favorites right now, and the roster for Team Orbit is Ghosty, Movo, Viron, Fairy Peak, Loner, Shax, and Kens. And while the lineup for Rogue Nation is Crimson Raven, Joey, Rogue Jaeger, Rogue PK, Kraken, Walker, and Lil Bro. The maps we'll be playing on today is Clubhouse, Consulate, and the decider will be on Cafe. And we'll be starting on Clubhouse with Rogue Nation starting on attack. And we are already in the first round, and they're already asking for a rehost. They unfortunately do not have a rehost because of the rules that were set and because they delayed it so much. Yes. Okay, so number one underway. Unfortunately, Rogue will be playing 4v5 until Orbit asks for a rehost because they are unfortunately out of rehosts.
10 seconds left.
Just clearing
5
things
seconds
out.
to go. Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Just making sure everything is correct. Meanwhile, Orbit is busy in their defensive setup, bringing the Kaid along with the Pulse and the Valkyrie. So a lot of information gathering being utilized here by Team Orbit, and Lil Pro already turning it down to a 4v4 Pulse with a very aggressive play outside. I believe he was caught by the IQ's scanner as he was trying to go for a spawn peek and was caught out by the IQ, and Veron is already on half HP. So Orbit are being too aggressive for their liking. Fragger being spotted by the drone here, and he's having some difficulty. He will soon come into contact with, I believe, Crimson, who is on that door waiting for the information to come through as Fragger falls back down blue stairs as Rogue Jaeger is actually coming on the flank to Crimson. He might be able to catch him out, and yes, he does. And Orbit now down on the man count as Rogue Nation are really stepping up, and Veron's inside dirt tunnel, the Valcam still up. It's now a 3v5, 3v4 essentially, and Ghosty now needs to hold on to this position for as long as he can. One thermite charge used on the blue hatch, second one probably will be used on the church wall, if not either one of the hatches. So he will be going for the motor hatch, so the church wall will not get open. There's no secondary hard
Attackers have
breach
located a bomb.
available, and the hatch will be opened up. PK just waiting to see if there will be any flanks, but it's so low on man count they can't really afford to lose anyone on a rogue flank watch as Veron is on half HP. So this is going to be a very difficult task for Orbit to hold on to this site as Jaeger goes to work as a bug on this kitchen floor. He might be able to catch Ghosty if he looks the right way, but Ghosty has relocated towards the tunnel. As 45 seconds left, they need to start pushing towards the side as they have to play against a Legion and a Kaid. As Thermite has made its way all the way into the Moto drop, as
Defenders
Veron
approaching
actually
kill
goes
zone.
for a flank and gets Crimson Raven. That's the Thatcher. Probably the flank watch off the board as Ghosty with a beautiful bullet hole
Bomb
gets the
located by
kill
attackers.
onto the thermite. So it's down to Jaeger with the Legion mine in his leg, and he is inside. He doesn't. The Legion
15
inside
seconds left.
blue. Ghosty on the triple kill. It's all down to Little Pro who started
10
it, and
seconds
he
remaining.
needs to end it. And unfortunately, he will not be able to get out of the stock room. And Veron gets the final kill. The flank by the Jaeger really working out. And now Orbit will be using their Huey host to get the final man for Rogue Nation in, and Just finishing up things here. Now they're thinking about it. Now that they realize that it's theirs. Anyways, round number two, the operator speaks. They can't change the operators or the site. I believe round number two will be played. Uh, Going to CCTV, bringing a maestro. The echo is banned, so the sixth pick from the Thatcher to a Thatcher. Okay, so yeah, never mind that. And
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs
so
as
the
they
echo ban here on this site really doesn't affect too much. They are bringing double ACOGs regardless, with Fragger bringing the dock. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays this one out. Um, Rogue Nation, despite the fact that they were a one-man down, they did bring it back almost. So Orbit,
10 seconds to go.
they want to, yes.
5 seconds to go.
Device positioned.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb.
So they
and
won't
defuse
be
it.
using their rehost to help out Rogue Nation, and unfortunately they will have to play. That's an interesting cam. On this POV, it's easy to spot, but not when you're in game. It's you won't necessarily be looking here, and this is a really good cam here by Movo. So usually you would be looking for a cam inside this freezer if you know your stuff, but the way this cam's been put up, it's really difficult to actually see the blue light glowing, which is camouflage inside the freezer lights, and Pasky on this bandit screen is glitching a bit out, and Veron on this deep roam inside the strip club side entrance, and he will be going for a run out. He might be able to catch someone out. He does spot the buck hole being made. Meanwhile, Pasky and Movo have both been brought down to half HP, I believe, by the buck making that hole, causing Veron to go for that flank. Unfortunately, he doesn't spot anyone as the wall has been breached. The main wall has been breached, so I believe he was trying to go for a bandit trick, Pasky, and he refused to do so. He's followed all the way back into construction, and he drops down into the lounge area. He's probably looking to go for a run out or a flank. This double roam setup by Orbit is really looking good so far, but unfortunately he looks the wrong way, and there goes the Jaeger, and Rogue Jaeger actually on a tear right now as he gets 2 kills for the price of 1. I believe it was a wall bang through the wall to the dog inside the garage. Veron on this flank, he might be able to catch the Thatcher out. He gets the down, he goes in for the double kill, and he gets it. That's a beautiful play by the Jaeger on that deep roam. He was not thrown down, his position was not given away, and he comes in at the flank at the best possible time. The white P coming out by our Ghosty to finish off PK, and once again it's down to Lil Pro on the IQ with still a Claymore in hand and only 43 seconds on the clock. She doesn't have the diffuser, so he has to collect it from all the way in front of the breach, and he will be being watched. He will be watched from 2 separate angles. He will decide to flank him, but that's Ghosty not watching his back, and now it's down to 1v2. The Valcam's still on, and Veron might be aware of Lil Pro's position as he falls back into sight, expecting a vault in.
Seconds remaining.
There's only 30 seconds left on the clock. Lil Pro really needs to get a move on. He will jump in. He get a beat. He'll miss so many shots onto Veron. It felt like he got the headshot. The C4 coming in from down below. Unfortunately, he will not have enough time, and this fight will not have a conclusive winner as Veron and Lil Pro fight to the bitter end. And unfortunately, neither of them are able to get the kill on each other. Lil Pro just wasting a little bit too much time on that balcony in that last round. Ron on 4 kills, and he's still to be fragged out. So he's going on these deep flanks, deep roams, like getting lost like a Cavera inside the building. Clubhouse is the perfect map to do so, and he's really shining on that Jaeger role. They have to now go to the tertiary site, which is Gym Bedroom, and see if they can go for a perfect rotation as now Crimson Raven is bringing the Nomad. So I like this change. They realize that these flanks by Veron are too pesky to deal with, and they're unable to deal with because of their lower man count by default. And so Movo 6 making the Legion off of smoke. So fair enough, they both do similar things, yet
Attackers
they're
need to
completely
locate and
different
defuse bombs.
operators at the same time. Maybe he's just comfortable with the Legion, and Legion can be helpful with passive intel, so it's alright then. A rotation strategy here inside bedroom, so you usually see this with a mirror window inside bedroom, but because mirror is banned, you usually see both of these walls reinforced, and the castle being brought is quite standard at this point on this site. So you put the castle barricades on both of, so this window as well as the doorway, so the attackers have to go through two separate
5 seconds to go.
safety mechanisms. So no, he's not acupuncture. He put it here inside cash room. So this just shows that they will be going for a that's a nice cap. Deep hold inside cash, and
Stop worrying about grenades.
they really just locked it up. They've just completely surrounded it with as much utility as they could, reinforcements and castle barricades. So I believe Pasky is the one who is going to be playing as Ghosty is just reinforcing this wall here. So that's a lot of utility being put down inside that cash room, and if they manage to open up the, so Lil Pro is bringing the breach charges, so they can open up the castle barricades on the windows. They realize now that the bandit is going to be tricking. The breach charges could be useful to get rid of him, and he could be a very easy kill right now if Jaeger can land his grenade. And no, the grenade will do some damage, and Fragger now realizes that he is not able to, and that is a perfect bandit trick coming out for number one. The Thermite not waiting for the Thatcher or anyone to clear out the bandit, so that's poor use of utility, as this bandit is in a very safe place right now. But if that castle barricade is taken care of by either the Buck with a grenade or the breaching charge on the Thatcher, and as I say that, the Thatcher is taken down, so that is beautiful coverage by Orbit as the refrag comes out by Veron, who I believe he went on a run out from construction window, and now the Nomad is coming out, so the communication a little off for Team Rogue Nation, as now they're a man down, and Crimson Raven now on a double kill getting the Valkyrie. So that's the CCTV pressure taken care of. Oh, Fragger, if he goes for this C4, he could easily land this kill. The wall gets opened up. Fragger waiting for the, oh, he just panics and throws the C4 away. He will peek and get the kill onto the Nomad, so that's a very aggressive play coming out by Fragger, and ooh, a nice shot onto the Buck inside construction. He's looking to get the triple, and he gets it. Fragger, an amazing round on the bandit, getting the bandit trick and getting the 3-piece inside Gym Bedroom. An amazing play. Ooh, that long angle deep inside cash really caught that Buck off guard. He was not expecting a peek from Gym of all places, because that is the least defendable site of the entire map, the Gym place of Gym Bedroom. And now Orbit will be going for their rehost. So this is the only rehost we will have in this matchup, apart from, if any, technical ones. And we will be right back with you after the rehost. Hello, everyone, and we are back with the rehost, and now we have a full 5v5, and Rogue are able to get in Kraken. So now they will actually be able to work their attacks as they are looking a bit shaky so far. Um, so Kraken straight away picking up the Thermite just shows me that he was the original planned Thermite player for their team, and the Thermite before was not able to actually do his job properly. And the sixth pick from the Sledge onto the Thatcher, they are going to church, and they also have a buck, so it's fair that they are bringing the Thatcher because of the kite that is being played by Movo beautifully. Actually, he was able to
Defenders
waste a
protect
lot
your
of
bombs from being
utility
defused
on
by
the
attackers.
Hatches last time around. But let's see what they can do this time. As last time they were playing on a 4v5, and now Fragger is actually on the Jaeger role, and Veron has picked up the um, Valkyrie. So Valkyrie, Jaeger, they can do similar things on the roam, but Jaeger has a significantly better gun. But the pulse being played on the church side is not anything new at all.
10 seconds
Veron
left.
looking to see. Oh, that's a
5
nice
seconds
cam.
left.
But anyways, the bar had
Attackers
still
must
not
locate
reinforced, and
and defuse the bomb.
they're asking someone to reinforce it as PK flexing that black ice on the G8 with the angle strip now, as Rogue Jaeger looking to see if he can push his luck once again with the wall bangs, as Pasky with that beautiful Amber Eye skin on the ump of all guns, and
Heartbeat sensor deployed.
waiting to see if anyone will push into the kitchen side, and doesn't look like that would be the case anytime soon, as okay, so Jaeger just doesn't want to pull the trigger on that camera. Anyways, Fragger now rotating towards the blue side, as now Pasky will have to see if anyone will actually push him to the so Fragger now just going straight away to the top floor. He spots the drone, decides to knife it, making as little noise as possible. And Fragger actually cleared this area, but they don't have a claymore there, so Fragger is now on the top floor, and they might not know it. And the Jaeger could easily flank and get double, probably a triple if they're not paying attention, are unable to land their shots. And Momo looking to see, and that is a perfect kite trick on a thermite charge. Momo playing the kite to perfection, and he still has his Electrica in hand. Only one EMP grenade left, as Fragger has rotated all the way into construction, and Moho still has control of the Moto drop down as Fragger moves down. He is spotted, his position is given away, the pre-fire is coming in. Unfortunately, this will give his position away and make his flank a bit more difficult, but now that will just waste a little bit more time on the attacker side. Oh, he's going to push the kitchen side, and he will get Jaeger. He's gonna get pushed again, he looks
Attackers
away
have
at the
located a bomb.
wrong time, and Crimson gets the refrag, but 50 seconds left. And now the Thermite pushes in with the IQ. It's all down to Veron and Movo to hold down this site for as long as they can. Kaid unable to land his shots, and that's the IQ finishing him up. It's down to 1v4 with Veron on the Valkyrie. He's gonna get pushed from several angles. He gets one. Can he get the second? He's gonna get pushed by. He has no bullets on either one of his guns. He doesn't land a C4, and PK finishes him up. A good effort on Veron's part, but overall a poor defense by Orbit, as they were just peeking angles they should not have been peeking. They had time in their hands. They wasted so much utility and so much time, and yet they pushed and they got aggressive. Quite similar to what happened the last time they decided to defend this site, but unfortunately this time Rogue had their full man count, and they were able to capitalize on the mistakes being made by Orbit, and 3-1. So after a perfect rotation, finally a round goes in favor of Rogue.
And what was that miscommunication actually between the Buck and the Hibana when
the Jaeger of Fragger was flanking from the master bedroom stairs. The Buck did see the Jaeger fire some bullets at him, but he completely ignored the Jaeger and went into kitchen to, open up the floor, and Jaeger got the kill on him on the flank. But there was no coverage for him, and the Hibana would have also died if only she had peeked like just a second earlier, because the Jaeger was
Attackers
Yeah.
need to
expecting
locate
that
and
peek.
defuse bombs.
But unfortunately,
Repeat, yes. I think the problem there was that they were really low on time, and they wanted to check off the list of things that they wanted to do, and they were so focused on what they wanted to do, they completely ignored the Jaeger, and they were like, okay, he's peeked us, he's gonna run away. If we forget about our problems, if we don't think about them, they're
close
gonna
your eyes.
magically disappear.
Close your eyes
And
see a cat.
unfortunately, it didn't happen, but they were able to
Left
uh,
before insertion.
capitalize on them. And okay,
5
so
seconds
now
to
Orbit have set up a CCTV defense, not opting to go for a
Attackers need
uh,
to locate and
church
defuse the
defense
bomb.
again, as now the
Attackers dropped the
Capitao
bomb
is being
diffuser.
brought, as well as the
Attackers have
IQ.
recovered
So
the diffuser.
Capitao could be an interesting pick on this side, because at one point, okay, so he's bringing the Para instead of the LMG, and ooh, I think he just missed the Valkyrie running past the window. You might have seen his footsteps or anything to let him know that the Valkyrie was there. And meanwhile, Crimson Raven just running into the basement, and yeah, so they will be entering through the dirt tunnel, just crouch walking in from dirt tunnel, making as little noise as possible. So this could be a secondary push by Rogue as they push. The main push comes in from the main wall as they are still struggling to open it up. 1 minute in and they still haven't gained a lot of ground. And now the Jaeger, Buck actually has made his way into blue. He spots the smoke, lays some bullets on him, and gets some damage done as well. And now Passy is being pressured from several angles. He's trying to do this banner trick with his life, trying to keep his life intact while he does it as the Buck goes to work on the floor. The wall, unfortunately, will be opened up, and Passy is now in a bit of a difficult situation as Movo on the smoke, laying one down so early in the round. He only has 2 left, and now the drone's going into sight halfway through the round. All 5 members still alive, and not a lot of ground to actually taken up by
Attackers bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Rogue Nation as Pasky just peeks in with the Bandit. What is with these Bandit players on Orbit as now he peeks in
Attackers recovered the
again
bomb diffuser.
and gets the kill onto the Thermite. So he already had done his work, and Ron actually gets the kill onto the Thatcher. That is a far more influential pick, and he still must have had some of his EMPs left. The C4 goes out and actually downs the Buck deep inside bathroom. There is no way they have time to actually go for the revive on him, and he was going for a solo push up the main stairs. So it's basically down to a 2v5 now with Rogue and Crimson and I believe it's PK. So it's PK and Crimson last men alive to go for this retake, for this take onto the main stairs. Crimson looking to see if he can get to the Buck. So they will go for the revive with only 20 seconds left. They're so far away from sight, and they have all these defenses, the Legion mines, the Valcams, as well as the smokes to go through as Veron just pushes in to PK, gets the IQ, Rogue's on someone with low HP. Crimson will finally get one for this team, but these are pointless frags at this point,
Operators, you have run
and
out of time.
round goes in favor of Orbit. An amazing roam here from Veron, once again just hiding out, evading the drone so perfectly, so fluently, and just peeking at the right time and getting the kills just when they are needed. That kill on the Buck, well, almost kill on the Buck, was really the turning point, the final nail in the coffin for Team Rogue Nation, as they were really struggling to do anything after he died. He still had some of his nades, I believe at least one of his nades in his pocket. He hadn't used it. And now they will be going back to church for their final defense. A 4-1, even a 4-2 is not that much of a deal especially on a map like Clubhouse, which is so defender-sided these days. But at the same time, if they can push for a 5-1, that could be a really big hill to climb for Team Rogue Nation, as they want to stick to their guns, bringing a very similar lineup on either side,
Protect your bombs from being
bringing
defused
the
by
Pulse
attackers.
as well as the Valkyrie to maximize the. Yeah. Yeah. The defenders, yes.
10 seconds left.
Pasky now on the
5
Pulse,
seconds
just
remaining.
running around, making sure that the.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and
Did he
defuse it.
shot the? Did he shoot the drone? Did he actually get the drone? Oh, it's still there, and it's actually spotted the Pulse inside the bar area, who will now retreat. There's the drone still hiding inside the most obvious place, and the last place the defenders will look at, as Fragger still has one of his ADSs on hand. He will peek out, and he will get shot down. The aggression coming out from Team Orbit not working out, as I say that, they get DK. And it's now a 4v4 so early on in the round, so early aggression coming out from Team Orbit works out slightly in their favor, as they do get the Thatcher, but without a Kaid on the board, they can easily get the drop downs or any wall they wish to open up, as there's no Bandit or a Kaid in play, but the Pulse Scanner as well as the Goo Mines will still very well be in play. As you can see Pasky playing, he spots one of them, he knows he's right outside the doorway, and he's just waiting to see if he'll push up. This is just time being wasted on behalf of Team Rogue, as now Pasky sees the guy inside Freezer. He could very well go for the C4. He's prepping it, he throws it,
Attackers bomb diffuser has
and
been
it
dropped.
connects. That is the thermite of all people off the board, and now this is going to be a very large hill to climb for the attackers, as they don't have a thermite to do any redecoration, as Jaeger gets the kill onto Pasky. So an ill-advised move. Veron is still being pressured from several angles, and this is a beautiful push onto the Valkyrie. So now down to a 2v3, almost a 2v2. Crimson is on solo HP. He is the IQ. The Claymore is now going down, and the hatch actually opened up, so they left this hatch soft. An ill-advised move, I would say, as now they have easy access into the site, and Movo on the smoke now is forced to go for this flank, but his position might be given away. There is a Claymore in his way, and there we go. He's droned out, I believe. Oh, he was just missed by the drone, and he gets the one tap onto Crimson Raven, who was already on pretty low HP, but now the Twitch's position is also given away inside their tunnel. So this is a very split push coming out by the Team Rogue Nation, as Twitch now pushing all the way into. Oh, he gets one. His position now given away. He still has the needle in his hand, and he gets the 1v2 clutch. Little Pro, an amazing play on the Twitch. The Goo Needle still in his leg. He gets the push. He gets one. He gets two. Poor situational awareness on the side of Team Orbit, as they knew the Twitch was there. She gave her position away, but they were unable to actually capitalize on it. And now it's a 4-2 on the side change. Lil Pro was left in a lot of 1vx clutch situations early on, but this time he was able to make it work with the help of the Capital of, I believe, PK.
That was a roller coaster at the end of the round. Like the drone just missed the smoke while droning to the blue hatch side, and he got the one tap on the IQ, and then the Twitch coming from the tunnel did hit a Goo mine, And that should have alerted
Yes.
the defenders like to her position, but maybe they confused it with the go mine on the main stairs or something maybe. But some miscommunication must have happened which caused the Twitch to get the nice 1v2 clutch and
Defenders,
another
protect
round
your
for
bombs
them.
from being defused by attackers.
We'll see what they can do.
A really good
once
round.
after the road is slab now. They have to drag them now. They're on the defense, so we'll see what they can do.
Yes, they are starting up on CCTV, so already a change from what Rogue Nation were facing on their attack, and now they are so Kraken just debating whether he wants to put this Valcam down, and yeah, so they're not bringing a bandit. The first thing that you think of when you think of talk about CCTV is bandit tricking on the main server wall. There's no bandit, they have the kite, and there is an IQ on the side of Team Orbit. So I don't really know how they're going to make this work with just the kite and both Hibana and the Thermite. So double heartbeat are being brought on by the attackers, but the mute jammer slowing down the progress for Team Orbit as Veron has struck a mute jammer on this wall. One Thatcher now already being used on this wall now, and the kite actually being thrown at a really belated time, and he's unable to get the Hibana pellets as Fragger gets the kill onto Lil Pro, so no 1v2 clutches this round, as that's the Jaeger off the board, and 2 minutes left so early. The IQ can now go to work down here on this site, and Ghosty gets the kill onto PK, so that's the Legion off the board, the last operator you want to lose, and this is just a downfall for Rogue as Ron gets the kill on the Hibana. He pushes into side. It's all down to the Valkyrie of Rogue Kraken, and he is finished off by Veron. An amazing play on the Hibana, getting the triple kill. Veron really flexing his 3-speed Ash Rush skills from back in the day as he rushes from construction. He was so... At first it looked like he was busy opening up the wall with his Hibana, but then he just completely did a 180, went into construction, got the, I believe, the first kill onto the Legion, and then it just all went downhill from there. So now going down to Church now, and now they're bringing the Kite as well as the Bandit, so that's good. Those two are good operators to have down here. Jaeger is going for a 6-pick, I believe, to a Legion. Okay, so this is interesting to see. No smokes, Valkyrie, and no Legion as well. So a Mozzie. They're expecting a lot of droning. They don't have a lot of leeway because this is the last round before match point, and
defuse bombs.
they really have to pull this one through to stay alive mentally, because they're already facing so many odds as Crimson just using the TCSD to open up a rotation. Not something you see a lot these days because it has such less... This is actually such a small rotation, perfect for just enough to move through, but not shot through from the hatches, as now the reinforcements going up on the blue wall. Usually you see the centermost wall being reinforced, but I believe they have something in mind, and the ADS actually going on the doorway, so they are going to be looking to holding down the blue side, and Veron on the Hibana, peeking, pre-firing everything, making sure there's no spawn peaks happening, as three of them actually spawning by main gate, and they will be looking to clear into possibly the lounge area and the bar area. The Mozzie though is hiding in the most obvious location, and he's not droned out. Jaeger gets the kill onto the IQ. That is the worst kill they could have possibly asked for, apart from maybe the Thatcher or the Thermite. He peeks out, he gets the kill onto Veron. He uses a shotgun to finish him off, and he's finally shut down by Pashi, but that's the Hibana off the board. That is one of the two heartbeaters. They still have Husky, and Movo gets the refrag onto
Attackers have dropped the
PK.
bomb diffuser.
So now the man count is even once again, and Movo's actually moved all the way into the down the
Attackers
main
have
stairs
recovered
as
the
Lil
diffuser.
Pro now moves up on a flank. That is a very wide flank, a deep flank coming in from Lil Pro, but I believe his position is given away as Movo is expecting a flank from up here, and Lil Pro stops dead in his tracks as he realizes that the Claymore in his position is given away. Pasky using one on the hatch, so no kite picking happening there. That's the hatch opened up, perfect. Lil Pro still on this flank, being a bit more patient than he should be, but at the same time, Movo is aware of his position, and Lil Pro really needs to play this out perfectly if he wants to get this flank down. There are Nomad air jabs everywhere as well, as Movo peeks in, and an
Attackers have
amazing
located a
shot by the Thatcher as he gets the Valkyrie, and Glibro actually able to evade the Claymore, and he gets the Thermite. So this back and forth with 1 minute still left on the clock, the Thermite unaware of the flank by the Bandit, and the Patience actually working out, but Movo is actually in sight. There's no one in sight for Movo to actually deal with, and it's all down to Lil Pro and Crimson to deal with this pressure as the plant is going down. It's almost done. They're unaware of the plant going down, and it has gone down, and Crimson Raven stuck inside blue. He lays hell on the Thatcher of Movo, and Lil Pro actually joins him on this push as Crimson Raven actually moves into the armory area. They still don't know where the attackers are, so this is going to be a very difficult push, but Movo is on extremely low HP, and a stray bullet will work out for him, but Ghosty gets the kill onto the bandits. That's Lil Pro taken care of, and Crimson Raven will have to work wonders like Lil Pro did a little while ago on the same site but on different sides. But the timer on the diffuser will run out. He will push in to the bullets of Ghosty, and a beautiful 2v2 situation played out by Ghosty and Movo with the Nomad and the Thatcher, two operators who you don't usually see as the last ones alive, but amazing play there by Movo, getting the kill onto the Valkyrie of Kraken, and then pushing in from Moto, realizing the site was open and getting the diffuser down at the perfect time. And now it's 6-2 match point for Rogue Nation.
For Orbit.
For Team Orbit, and Rogue Nation are really struggling to keep up with Orbit right now. And
Mozzie, despite getting the two early frags, like, I mean, that round should have gone to Rogue. He did his best. He got the two early frags, but his team just died. Like after him, like after he died, he was traded out by the Buck, I believe, or did they even have the Buck or not?
it was the Buck. No, it was the Thermite actually,
oh, yeah, someone
finished
outside
him.
of Bar. Yeah.
So it was the Thermite and the Hibana were pushing into Billiards, and the Hibana got
Yeah.
shot down, and the Thermite refragged him. So that was fair play on their part. But
And even after
Rogue
the-
Nation were unable to.
even after that, Lil Pro with his beautiful roam upstairs, he went all the way from the new blue to CCTV carrot room, came down the main stairs, evaded the Claymore, and also got the kill on the Thermite as well. But at the end, he couldn't rotate back to site in time, and he had already actually used his C4, so there was not much that he could do to deny the plant, except using his gun. And the Kaid actually tried his best, I believe, but couldn't stop the plant, as somehow Mo did get into sight, into the church and planted behind the bomb, behind the table.
5 seconds to
Yeah,
insertion.
So
played by,
really unfortunate.
yeah, beautiful play by Orbit though. Like,
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Beautiful quarter, and now Jaeger once again on the Mozzie, playing this extremely aggressive playstyle on the inside Billiards, and he just misses the IQ. The IQ actually pushes into him. He loses a lot of HP, but he gets the Mozzie without actually losing a body this time, and this is already a great start for Orbit on their match point actually, and. And now they're actually scared of potential 200 IQ roams coming out from Rogue, as all four of them are downstairs. So this is interesting. You don't see that every day. It is possible. It is what usually happens, but I haven't at least seen it um, in this match. At least so far, as at least some of them, at least one guy was roaming upstairs or trying to delay for as long as possible. The Valcam is spotted out, and yeah, and Kraken is actually waiting for anyone to push into the kitchen.
Bomb located by attackers.
But no, he's actually. I don't believe anyone will be moving into the kitchen side. Uh, so they're droning the main hall. They will. This looks like a very straightforward moto drop, and they might not be going for a kitchen take. As Fragger takes down Crimson, that's the second kill on the round for Fragger, as he gets the Kaid peeking, but Lil Pro gets the refrag onto the Thermite as he's opening the wall, but Fragger with a triple kill pushing into the main hallway as Movo gets Rogue PK, and it's all down to Kraken on a 1v4 to keep his team alive in this round. He'll be pushed from several angles, going on a bit of a potato fest with the gun, but he will be unable to stop the defuse plant, and it's a 1v2. Two players left to complete this 1v4 actually, as Kraken pushes into Movo, who's actually just fallen back, all the way back into the hallway. As he gets Movo, it's down to a 1v1 now, with still a lot of time left, but Ghosty, both of them actually are unaware of either of their positions. Kraken on extremely low HP, he gets the pre-fire, but unfortunately, he's unable to get the position of Ghosty, and Ghosty finally in the end clutching it out. A really nice try coming out from Kraken there, but too little too late, as the plant was already down and there was little to nothing he could have done with the Nomad still on the board. Ghosty rocking that beautiful Fnatic skin, and Movo with that horrendous Vin Bastion skin that absolutely I'm disgusted from. But anyways, good map from Orbit. It was their pick, and now we will be going to Consulate, which is Rogue Nation's pick. And let's see if they can do any better than they did this time around. 7-2, and we will be right back with you with map number 2. Are we live? Okay. Uh, first ban coming in.
Defending first on Consulate. Second map, second ban, Jackal. So that's also good for Rogue Nation, as they'll be defending first for the first 6 rounds. But Orbit must have been confident in their roam clear, as they are the ones attacking, so they don't need the Jackal, and they want to not deal with the Jackal on their defense, so that's why they get rid of him. Maestro getting off the board, and now the last defender ban for Team Rogue Nation. We can be seeing the Valkyrie, as she's very powerful on this map, or maybe the Echo, or we can see an odd ban, probably the Mira, the Legion or something like that. But yeah, we will be seeing the Valkyrie, as she's very powerful on this map. You can lob out a lot of cameras outside the bazillion amount of windows on this map, so she's very useful on this map. And but the attackers can bring the single operator in IQ, and they can deal with your Valkyrie cameras unless they are inside the map in places where the IQ has to come inside. We will be seeing Veron picking the IQ, the elite beautiful IQ, and we'll be going first to garage and not console. So Rogue Nation, mixing things up, and let's see what they have for plant denial. So from what I can understand, they have the C4 in hands of the bandit and the Mozzie to deny the plant, and also they can use the impact from Vigil of Rogue Walker and make some holes inside of Piano to deny the plant from behind the car, if presumably the attack comes from outside the garage. Crimson Raving 6 picking onto the Mute, another elite coming on the board. So Mute can be pretty useful, also considering the 6 pick on him, as the attackers don't even have the Thatcher to get rid of him easily.
Attackers need to
You can get
locate
rid
and
of
defuse
Mute
as
Jam
many bombs
obviously
as they
from
can.
reaching up the floor or getting using the Twitch drones or the IQ, but Thatcher is always easy to get rid of. Mute Jammers, Rogue PK will be going upstairs to probably catch a drone.
Attackers have discovered
Yes,
the
he
location of the
probably
bomb.
no, he missed the drone. And never mind. So the Twitch almost shooting the one of the pests. I think he got one of the pests of the.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He got one of them.
So Mozzie
10
did
seconds.
not manage to get any drones in the front place, but he might be
5
able to
seconds to
deny
insertion.
some insight in the later phases.
Attackers are heading out to
One of
defuse
the
the
walls
bomb.
still left soft near the bandit on garage wall. This is still left soft, as Rogue Jaeger will rush in to reinforce it.
So round number 1 underway, and they get in that last minute reinforcement down, but Orbit is too focused on the main lobby to actually do much, as Fragger pushes in, living up to his name and getting rid of BK on the Mozzie inside bathroom, playing the reflex instead of the ACOG is quite normal practice by now, but
I think the
playing
damage
the
that he got was a friendly fire. I believe that was a friendly fire by the sledge on the Twitch when he entered the building. The Vigil still on the road.
that is really
Here.
unfortunate.
Vigil might just catch the Nomad inside the bathroom. What is... Did he see something or why? He fired
I
something-
think he saw a shadow of the sledge, or maybe something, I don't know, but he just gave his position away at the worst possible time, and there were 2 people just ready to bounce on him as he did it, as Fragger gets the double kill, now downing the Jaeger as well. So that's Jaeger off the board, and now he's down on yellow stairs, but it might be too little too late as Christian gets the kill, and ooh, it's brought down to essentially a 2v2, but Fragger might be able to be revived as He is still down on yellow stairs, so he gets revived, and they still have more than a minute. But the diffuser is down in front of the bandit, and Kraken gets the beautiful shot onto the IQ. Was already extremely low, but it's now down to 2v2 with only the bandit being the one who's actually taking any damage on either of the 4 operators. And he will be playing very aggressively, and he will get peeked by 2 separate angles. They had the diffuser, and Bobo gets the final kill onto Crimson, and that's round number 1 going in favor of that's the new ACOG coming in year 4 season 4. The 1x ACOG. Anyways, good round overall. Rogue almost brought it down to a 2v2. It was a really nice play on Kraken and I believe Crimson's part to bring it down. They held their fort for as long as they could. They had the diffuser, but it was just unfortunate timing as well as unfortunate positioning coming out from Kraken. He was on extremely low HP, should have fallen back, played it a bit more safe, realizing that they had the diffuser downed on the breach. Either way, they are going back to the cafeteria garage once again. And quite similar lineups being brought by either side, but the 6 pick onto the Vigil once again, not opting to bring the smoke. Interesting to some extent, but smoke isn't exactly a very useful operator, especially if the attackers get quick and easy control without any roam presence to deal with. Instead, they will be bringing the Vigil, who will once again be roaming upstairs. He might actually be able to flank. It's all about wasting time at this point. They want to waste as much time as they can. They can either do it by smoke, by letting them come to the site, or they can do it using a Vigil and not let them come to the site in the first place, and waste as much time as they can. Either way, round number 2 underway now, and Orbit are so scared of any potential spawn piece coming out as we're going with a bit of a shift spam there, just to, you know, make sure his shift spam isn't like he doesn't forget how to spam his shift when he goes back into ranked as Vigil. Now playing in a very aggressive yet sneaky angle, and he is actually supported by Jaeger this time on the Jaeger. His position given away on the drone, but this is not the play as Fragger doesn't spot the Jaeger who actually prones through the circle decks with Veron with a beautiful flick onto Vorka, and that is the roam presence completely dealt with. I mean, last time it was Fragger doing the fragging, but this time Veron has once again lived up to his name, as now the top 4 of control is given away to the attackers, and Momo on the sledge can now go to work. They do lose the Nomad, so the flanks can now be a bit more easier to pull off, considering the Nomad charges, if they were put down or not. But Mute actually coming in on a flank, giving his position away, but PK gets the kill onto Bobo, so that's the sledge down top floor. So actually only Veron left on the top of Spiral Stairs. And Kraken once again are extremely low HP on the bandit. The HP clearly favoring the side of Orbit, but the man count is definitely in favor of Team Rogue Nation, as Crimson Raven still on this roam, and Kraken actually down behind the wall inside the rotation, as Veron still looking to see if he can push anyone out of their position, as he comes into contact with Crimson on the Mute, who's actually fallen back to the yellow stairs, actually back into piano, so he is refusing to give this position away. But Veron finally gets the triple off the round. He has 2 more to go for the ace. Kraken, however, gets the kill onto Passy, so Veron actually has to ace this round to get the finisher. He gets the goo needle stuck in his foot with 40 seconds left on the clock. He does not have the diffuser to play with. He gets the goo needle out. He has 2 angles to deal with, but very low HP defenders to actually get. He is also on very low HP on himself. And there is a finisher from Rogue Kraken finally being able to finish the round this time. And It's an even round count on round number 2. That was such a heavy roam. Like they were all going upstairs to deal with the attackers. As I said, they wanted to waste as much time as they can, but at the same time, they were losing so many men while doing so. Like at that point, it is all down to the IGLing of whether, so when they lose that much manpower, do they reinforce their positions, do they go for those flanks, considering they're down a man, down a couple of men. So Crimson Raven on that mute flank actually wasted so much time for Veron to actually figure out where he was and go for that fight. He did eventually win that fight, but the time Crimson actually wasted on that mute, just running around trying to play a cat and mouse with him, really helped out the defenders who were downstairs also on very low HP. So overall, a great defense, and now they have to go to the secondary site, which is console office second floor, which itself is a pretty good
Defenders,
site to
protect your
defend.
bombs from being defused by attackers.
So bringing the dog as well as the echo. Okay, maybe they have some. So Echo was banned last time around. This time it's the Maestro that's banned. So that's fair enough. But the Echo, if the IQ is unable to actually spot the Echo drones, this could be a very difficult round for the attackers. As yeah, so Veron still having the breach charges as well as the elite skin on. He's tasked with the duty of actually fragging out as well as
5
using a
seconds to
utility to deal with the echo drones,
Attackers' objective is
as
to locate
Jaeger's
a bomb
still
and defuse it.
looking to see if he can actually get any more drones, as this looks to me like a admin take. They are looking to go there past G picking up his drone, so yeah, a heavy reinforcement on this admin take, as they will come into contact with the Legion Crimson Raven as well as the Jaeger of Jaeger playing inside admin, but Crimson actually falls back and leaves just Jaeger to deal with the onslaught that will soon come once they figure out his position and once the repels start coming in. But Ghosty actually has relocated towards the bathroom window, I believe, and Pasky gets the Jaeger on the repel with the Bearing 9, which has so little recoil after the patch came in, and Ghosty actually gets the Dock. So that's the ACOG of the board, and this is just an onslaught from Team Orbit as they push in, and Fragger now taken down, peeking in aggressively to Kraken. The Sledge, though, his position given away, but he gets the kill onto Kraken on the mute, and he gets the finisher onto the Echo Movo. Exceptional play on the side of Team Orbit. Exceptional team play, just coming in from all these angles that Rogue just could not account for at the same time, and just communication on point. Droning and everything was so beautiful in that round. Bovo with the finisher in the end with the double on the mute, and the Echo. It was an almost flawless round, but at the same time, it was an amazing round regardless. So they're bringing a different lineup. The last lineup worked quite well. The Gridlock wasn't able to actually use any of her abilities, but the gun is quite useful, and I think Ghosty is just going to use the Nomad to actually help on the repels. As Kraken 6 picks off of the Bandit onto the Mute. The Mute wasn't really that helpful. I believe if they want to hold on to the admin site, there's no Thatcher, so they could easily just put some Jaegers
Attackers need
down
to locate
and
and defuse bombs.
the ADS is down, as well as some mute charges on the windows to prevent any sort of droning inside. But I don't think that's what they will be going for with that mute. Bring the Legion again, this time the Mozzie. So Mozzie and Mute together could be a very deadly duo if they can use their utility in harmony and actually cover more area than they would be able to like solo. Anyways,
10 seconds to go.
So PK putting up some of the, yeah, there we go. So the
5 seconds to
Mozzie
insertion.
charges, all three on all three windows, are an exceptional idea. So this allows them to actually hold on to admin a bit more, because the drones, if they're thrown up, they will just simply get caught up by the Mozzie pests. And Jaeger actually going onto a spawn peak onto a Capitao. The worst operator you could possibly lose on a council attack is the Capitao on a spawn peak of all things. He wasn't even able to get past the spawn, let alone get near the building, as they're now a man down and they have to go against this heavy admin hold. But Movo actually just propelling onto the double windows, and Orbit have just completely shifted their focus from the admin take, and instead they're going for a, I believe, a council take from double windows. It's going to repel in, and maybe yeah. So Pasti's once again going to be peeking in with the Hibana. Oh, he just spots the dog and gets away with his life, as Fragger now gets the refrag onto the Jaeger. So that's a good start for Orbit as they start to get the man count back in their favor. A beautiful shot by Walker onto Pasti. That's a Hibana off the board, and Orbit really struggling to deal with this aggression coming out from Team Rogue Nation, as halfway through the round and they haven't actually even set foot in the building, except for Fragger, who's on yellow stairs now. He's actually moved up yellow stairs, and ooh, a beautiful shot onto the Legion deep inside. It's a very default angle if you think about it. He just misses the dog rotating from the top of spiral stairs. I believe he hit a fat finger, and Fragger with the triple kill now. The Zofia really working out for him. Oh, he goes for an ill-advised rotate as he is down, and he will be finished off by Rogue Kraken with the SMG-12, SMG-11. Meanwhile, the plant actually going down, and none of the defenders actually close enough to C4 or deny this plan. PK might be moving in from below. He might be able to land the C4. Unfortunately, it's not the correct call, but Kraken gets the kill onto Ghosty, and Movo gets the kill onto Kraken for the refract. So it's down to a 1v1 with PK versus Movo. Missing that sledge. Holding on to the angle with the ACOG. Movo pushing in, but PK unfortunately not able to land any of his shots. But oh my god, that was such a close play from the Mozzie, but the gun just running out of bullets at the worst possible time as he pushed in. And that was such a close round, beautifully executed by Team Orbit, but it was so close to slipping out of their hands. Fragger really just going off in that round, and had it not been for Movo's heroics in the end, it could have been a very different story.
I don't know why did the sledge of Movo like rappelled in the window. Like at the end, he could have rappelled outside and covered the diffuser from outside, but I think he might have been like, you know, worried about the run out from yellow because they were two and he was one. So at the end, it worked out for him, and he did get
It worked out for him,
yeah,
yes.
but I'm worried why was the Mozzie not like in piano to deny the plant. He was like far away from piano, and when the
I don't know.
plant
He
went
got
down,
the C4 in before the plant went down, but
it missed, I believe.
he got it on the wrong place. He put the C4. He C4'd the reinforced wall on the rotation to connector.
Right here, right?
Yes, that was where he
But I
C4'd
think
actually.
that was the C4 of the
The
mute.
plant was going down behind the table.
But I think that C4 was from the mute playing inside of connector, or he just rotated from, you know, this meeting bomb to connector, and the C4 just stuck somewhere in the wall, and that's why it blew up this wall instead of landing right here and blowing up the planter. They gained a bit more time because Ghosty did let go of the plant once he started it, but you know, for the second time he did stick with it. He did die to the mute after just immediately after the
5
plant,
seconds
but
to go.
well played to Movo for
I
getting
think
the frag.
so.
Attackers
Good
must
play on
locate
him.
and defuse
I
the
think
bomb.
it was just his innate game sense of realizing that the first place that they would check would be the repel on the windows. They know that he's repelled, but the last place they would check is actually inside the site. So fair play to him actually get those double kills, and Now Crimson on the roam on the top floor, so they want to hold the building, but they're using a very different strategy this time with a Crimson and the Vigil on the top floor with the rest of the three on site. So Legion and Echo is not a site to deal with, but Veron looking for a hot breach into admin, and he will soon come into contact with Kraken on the Vigil, and ooh, his position might be given away from the sound. Momo gets the kill onto Crimson, and Kraken actually gets it down onto and kill onto the Fragger on the Zofia, but Veron actually has the beat on Kraken, and he gets the refrag, but at what cost? They lost the Zofia, so they can't actually deal with any. Actually, no, they actually got out on the better side of that trade, as they got the Jaeger on the Vigil. So these roams upstairs have not been working out for Jaeger, almost missing that shot onto the sledge, but yeah, so the wall can now be opened up with 1 minute left, and the C4 for Walker actually perfectly placed. He gets the sledge. Ooh, that's a spicy pick for the defenders to get in this part of the round, as Pasi looks to open up both panels of the garage wall. The sledge though has done some reworking, some redecorating, but it's nearly not enough, as the feet of the Echo being spotted, and Pasi actually finishes him from a different angle. So this is beautiful coordination, beautiful communication coming out from Team Orbit once again. PK making this really late rotation, as Ron is now inside bathroom, and he actually gets flanked by Walker. So Walker really turning up for his team right now, and Ghosty with a Gooniel in his hand gets the kill onto Walker, and Pasi finishes up with the Thermite. So that's round number 4 in the books. Number 5 actually in the books, and yeah, it's a similar story to the last map. Orbit really showing up. Yeah. Rogue is doing different meta on it. So it's Rogue Nation's pick, and they're still struggling. Yikes. Anyways, I don't think they've actually changed anything on this lineup. Nope. So no Vigil coming out, and a 6 pick from a Jaeger to a Doc. Okay, so maybe he still wants to roam upstairs, and he wants reinforcement, not in the form of man instead of his stim pistol. Anyways, this is the third time they're actually going downstairs looking to see if they can actually hold it down. We haven't seen any of the other sites being played. This is the last defense on Rogue Nation's side, so they really do not want to defend bar main lobby or the Teller's side. But either way, Jaeger and Kraken once again on this roam on main lobby. It has not been working out at all, but Kraken now falls back, and Jaeger on the Mozzie. So this worked out to some extent in Clubhouse, but this time around it's Consulate. It's a different story, but Kraken actually has rotated all the way back into sight, and Jaeger just chilling on this circle desk. Ooh, this is a very nice angle, and should the attackers not drone him out, this could be an easy pick. But as you can see, he is being Fragger being very off the position of the Mozzie, as the grenade being prepped, and it will go right off. Unfortunately, he's unable to land the shots. Movo with the finisher. The grenade actually missed, but it did some damage to the Mozzie who rotated away. But in the end, they got rid of the Mozzie, and now it's down to a 4v5. So similar story to the previous times they actually decided to defend the site. Movo on the L85 operator, whether it be a Thatcher or a Sledge, really showing up for his team today, as well as Fragger on the Zofia, and Crimson on the mute, still inside cafeteria, looking to see if he can actually go for a late flank. If he starts the flank now, he might be able to catch at least one of them off guard, but no, Ghosty on the Nomad putting down the air jabs. The C4 from Rogue Walker wasted now. Okay, so no kill actually this time for Walker for that C4. He actually peeks into the Zofia. I think he just missed his head of the Zofia, but Fragger gets the kill onto the Bandit. So it's a 5v3 now. Orbit are really pushing for a 5-1 half, and it's all down to Crimson, who was upstairs, who don't even know is on this flank, and he's actually barricaded himself off, and it's a flawless round from Team Orbit. Fragger coming in with the triple kill on that round. An amazing round by Team Orbit, really flushing out the weaknesses from Rogue Nation one by one. That row, they just kept reinforcing that same strategy, just trying to hold main lobby for as long as they can, which was just not working out for them. They lost men every single time they tried to do it. They obviously did a lot of variations of that roam, but it did not work out any time they decided to do it. But now it's a side swap, so let's see how they fare on the attack, as they're only one round away from match point for Team Orbit. And just by the scoreline, it's a very similar story to what happened in the last map. And so a 6 pick from an Ash to a Hibana. Okay, they are going to defend. They are going to attack Garage. So double hard breach is always good, but at the same time, Ash is not a bad pick on this site, as you could use her in so many ways than just fragging out. So Buck being played instead of with the Sledge, in tandem with the Sledge and the Zofia. So a lot of soft destruction coming out regardless from Rogue Nation. And already the difference you see is the Echo, Smoke, Legion. The perfect operators, the best operators you could have to delay the attackers from getting into sight to actually plant the diffuser down. And then Fragger on the dock, continuing his role of fragging out for his team, living up to his name, Fragger, and playing on the yellow stairs. Now Pasty on the Jaeger, looking to go for a spawn peek. Oh, so they're both going. There's a double spawn peek coming out from Orbit. This is very aggressive play, and it was a ruse by the Jaeger, and Jaeger and Dog actually in perfect harmony there. So that's how you spawn peek, ladies and gentlemen. Just two people distracting the same guy, and he actually gets killed by the first guy he got peeked from, which was the Jaeger, who was running out, his position given away, and the Zofia taken down in spawn. This could really hurt their push later on at the end, but they continue to go for this aggressive play, and one of the Echo drones being sniped by I believe that was Buck. Yes. So one nade. They have 4 nades on the board, so they can use a bit of them and miss them if they want to. But Pasty on this roam upstairs, he realizes that the rappel is happening, and he gets the run now, and that is the Sledge off the board. And they're losing so much manpower, and Pasty on this roam upstairs with the triple kill. The Jaeger really living up to his prior fragging days, as he gets the triple kill onto all of the soft breach operators and getting away with his life as well. An amazing roam coming out by Pasty, and it's all down to Crimson and PK to actually keep their team alive in this matchup for match point. If they don't. It will be match point for Team Orbit as Pasti once again. He is not sitting inside today. He wants to get that ace.
He did get
Oh,
healed up
that
by the
I
dog.
thought that outline was on yellow stairs, was actually all the way outside. Anyways, so Pasti has two more people to find to go for to complete the ace. His position given away on the Jaeger, and he will rotate towards the same window he ran out the first time. 55 seconds left on the clock, and PK and Crimson really need to go on and start doing their work, as the Thermite will now look to open up the wall, and the runouts being washed by Crimson on the Hibana. Fragger playing the perfect position for an ACOG. So there's still two ACOGs, Smoke and an Echo to go through, and they still haven't dealt with Pasti on this roam. He's just waiting for anyone to go a little astray, but Fragger actually steals the ace from Pasti as he gets the kill onto PK. So that's a Thermite down. It's down to 1v4 with Crimson, the last man alive.
Defender has been discovered.
12 seconds left. This is not looking good. The smoke grenade is now finally coming out, and Mobile actually runs into the Claymore, but this is just too little too late. And Crimson is just going to sit this one out and talk with his team. Just a casual BM coming out from Team Orbit. So round number 7 in the books, 6-1 scoreline so far. Match point for Team Orbit, series point for Team Orbit, as Kraken actually the only one for his team to actually frag out. Meanwhile, it's a very balanced line on Orbit, as Fragger and Movo on 9 and 8 kills apiece, and then Pasti not very far behind with this beautiful 3-piece in the last round, roaming upstairs. But this time it's Viron now back to his original Jaeger role, and Pasti picking up the castle. They are going to the top floor, so castle is not a very shocking pick. He is very useful if you want to hold on to the console side, just castle those two windows, or you want to castle the yellow stairs wall if you don't want to hold on to it, just to get a sort of alert that there is someone on those stairs, so they don't get pre-fired inside sight. Anyways, match point for Team Orbit. Can Rogue Nation muster up any sort of attack to deal with this beautiful defense from Team Orbit? So there you go. Right off the bat, Pasti just castle barricading, so reinforcing what I said. This yellow doorway, as well as the console double door into the site, and the last one going on to the spiral stairs. So this is a very interesting way. It shows me that they won't be roaming towards the main lobby side, and instead will be going, if they want to, they will be going for very long flanks through the building. And let's see how they make this one work out. Run for the spawn peak from the admin window actually, and Fragger on the stalk once again, and he gets the kill onto the Ash. Oh my god, what a sad story that is for Kraken, getting spawn peak again. Last time he was on the Zofia, I believe, and this time he gets down on the Ash. These spawn peaks from Orbit have been absolutely on point. And Pasti actually gets the kill onto the onto Jaeger, and the refrag coming out by okay, so a run now coming out from the castle Pasti, looking to see if he can refrag the dock on to the Capitao. But unfortunately the Capitao had gone to the roof, and he was able to actually light up the castle on his way back into Viron on an extremely long run. Now will be caught up by Walker, but not before he gets the kill onto the Nomad. So this is well and truly done and dusted if they don't peek the wrong angles. But Walker punishing Pasti, who was already on low HP, but he was able to lit up the IQ. But now they have to come in contact with the castle barricades as well as the Legion and a Walker does have breaching charges, so he can open up this barricade. His position might be given away as the so Ghosty knows that the breach charge has been put down, but it hasn't been blown up yet, as he wants to create a distraction as he goes for a rotate to yellow stairs. Movo actually looking towards the console windows, but no, he spots the twitch at the last moment and he gets the kill. It's all down to PK on the Capital. He walks in, 56 seconds left. He's pre-firing everything. The Para doesn't have nearly enough bullets as the LMG. He goes for the plan at the wrong time. He gets peeked by Ghosty, and that's GG's in chat. Team Orbit take quarterfinal number 1. They're the first team to progress into the semi-finals of Pro League Season 3 with a 7-1 scoreline on map number 2. An amazing map by Fragger, and everyone on Orbit really showed up that round. Ghosty on that anchoring Legion, not something that's very common these days, but Fragger on that double-digit 10 kills, an amazing performance by Team Orbit this time. And 2-0 victory for Team Orbit on the first quarterfinal. They progress to the semifinals, and their opponents will be decided soon enough. And we will be back with you for the second match of the day, as JTF versus Mad Lads. We'll be right back.